Hey guys, I'm just talking about how to develop video, how to use video in your video marketing, and I had one just like what are the different types of videos, why you should use video because it's relational, a bunch of stuff. Now what I want to talk about is the last video I made was about if you write down your core, kind of your mission, your purpose, your values, but really if you get your one-liner, the stakes and the benefits kind of written out, and if you write those out, you'll be able to create better videos because you'll be working from a core. You will have a foundation from which you can draw upon to speak extemporaneously because it's just who you are, and that'll equip you so that you can go into a networking environment and really you can cast this vision for, you know what, I do taxes, bookkeeping, and accounting for small businesses. So you always say that quick. I always say what I do for whom, be really clear, but really what I do, and then what you get into is problem, solution, result. You're going to say I help people go from here to there. I help them from one crappy situation where they're stuck, and you describe the here, and then you describe the there. And the more you can, and that's called vision casting, right? So visioneering. Andy Stanley has a great book called Visioneering that you should read that talks about how to cast vision. And again, you want to describe the here so much that they understand that you understand where they're at, right? And so it might be that you're overpaying in taxes. It might be that you have a bookkeeper that's really not that good that you have on for $25 an hour, and it always seems like your CPA is fixing stuff, and you kind of get this intuition that maybe she's not that great or he's not that great, and boy, it'd be better if it wasn't. Or maybe you're stuck that you never get financing. Every time you go to the next real estate deal, they look at your books and they just kind of pass over it. And why is that? And it's because you don't understand your cash flow, because you don't work with a proactive tax planner, a bookkeeper that works with real estate professionals, right? Whatever that is. Maybe it's that you cast a vision of you're trying to build a new house or new construction, and it seems like there's nowhere to go to really understand who are all the companies out there and who do I actually build a house with. What we want to do is we want to help you understand how to build a house here in the South Metro with the different types of builders. We want to describe who we are and who even our competitors are so that you know what you're getting with each one, because our goal is that we hope that you would come to us, but we want you to know who we are as a builder, because if you understand who that is, then you want to take a step with us. Anyways, so you cast vision like that. Now what I want to get into is if you're not good at speaking extemporaneously and you can never spit, you're never going to have the ability to do that. Okay. In fact, maybe I restart this. We'll just go. If you can't do that, just write a script. Write a script, and what you should do is do the initial intro real quick. And the initial intro should just be, hey everybody, my name is Rob, and we have a little tax firm. We do taxes, bookkeeping, and accounting for small businesses. But really what we do, and then you have this transition of some sort. And what we specialize in, or what we really do, or what we really try to work on, and our main thing that we try and push, whatever that is, and then just go into presentations where it could be B-roll stock video. That's what B-roll is, stock video or video that goes along in the background. And then what you can do is write out the thing word for word, and write it the way you speak it, and transcribe that, and then just absolutely say it 15, 20 times in a row so that you can just spit it and do it effectively. That's how you do it if you're not good at video, okay? You write a script, right? The other thing that you'll see is if you're not good at speaking, or if you get here's some things that I want you to know. Number one, you are who you are, and people listen to your voice, and they know perfection is not the goal. Certainly, you want to make sure that you're engaging. You don't want to be unprepared. You don't want to look super unprofessional, right? That being said, so many people I watch try and do videos, and they're so worried that they never actually create. Okay, you just have to swing the bat. You have to make a video. And as long as you're trying to add value to people, you're trying to help people go from here to there, as long as you're doing that, then fail forward. Make 10 videos, put them on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, right? Take them, put them onto YouTube, and just create, and then get feedback. Okay, you have to learn from what you're doing, right? And take it with a grain of salt, right? In a way, it's the most vulnerable thing in the world. And this is what you just got to get over with. You have to get over the thought that if you try to do this, people are going to tell you bad things. Yeah, they will. People are going to be mean online. Whoop-de-doo. That's a them thing, not a you thing, right? And ultimately, you're creating, right? And you think about how much guts it takes. My grandpa, when he got older, when he was about 70 years old, decided he wanted to paint. He's a farmer. He never painted in his life. And when he died, his paintings were kind of, they were what they were. Was it Rembrandt? No. They look like my grandpa learned how to paint people. Now, his paintings are funny because from far off, they look really good. And then as you get closer, you're like, okay. But the other day, one of my coworker, Byron, he was doing his funeral. So my grandpa died at the age of 93 or whatever. I can't even remember now. And he was looking at the videos that I had done of his art, of his painting. And my grandpa became a prolific painter. He just painted and painted and painted. When he died, he wasn't a perfect painter. He wasn't even a great painter. He was a decent painter. But from where he started, it was totally different. And the bottom line is that now he did painting to enjoy things, right? Now, if you're creating videos to help people, people will come along with you in this journey, right? Now, the key, if you really want to get better at something, is you have to seek mastery of it. And one of the things in seeking mastery is to get feedback. Now, you don't want to get feedback from just anybody. They should be somebody that kind of understands it, but that values you and your relationship and values and what they're for you. They're not a wicked person or a foolish person. You don't go to fools, you don't go to wicked people. People that'll hurt you, don't do that. You get a small group of people that you respect, that have some insight, that have some credibility in this, and ask for good, honest feedback. Don't look for people to tell you what they like. It doesn't matter. They should tell you what they actually specifically like about your video. And then you should give them permission to eviscerate it. Scale each part of your video, scale of 1 to 10. What would you actually change, right? And what's funny is, to a degree, your metrics on YouTube would tell you whether or not you're doing a good job of that. And so will your sales calls and stuff. But if you can just create and create and create and create, and then invite some people to speak full truth to you, like full truth, hurt your feelings kind of truth, right? Rob, you got to shave. In fact, look at you. You look ugly, right? Okay, I want to hear that. You got to work on your lighting. Your audio is trash, right? Your visuals need to be better. Now, again, a credible person who cares about you and loves you, not a wicked person or a fool. A fool is just ignorant, right? Don't go ask your dumb drinking buddy to come and give you feedback on your... Well, maybe you do. The goal would be to get a good, credible person to help you. So, anyways, if you just create, and if you move forward, you can script it, you can move forward, but I'm telling you, if you just create, that's going to help you, right? Now, the other thing that you should know is that if you get a good editor, and as long as you can say something and go, and then come back and say something and go, you can get an editor to help you. You can do it in post-production where you lay it down and you just cut out all the parts. And that's where you might have to teach yourself video editing so that you understand it really well. But again, you're going to do well if what you're doing is you're helping people with a real problem, help them move upward and forward. And the problem could be that they need to be entertained, or they want, there's a lot of big YouTube channels out there where it doesn't seem like they're actually solving a problem, but the problem could be that they want to be entertained. They want to have a smile. They want to have a smile that's clean and it's not dirty. Or maybe they have a problem that they love visuals and they want to be engrossed in a story, right? There are all sorts of problems. I talk about core business problems, but there might be an array of problems that the problem is that they want to smile, right? They want more joy in their life, right? And so what you want to do is poke fun at things and be a comedian, whatever that is, right? But if you don't just start creating, you're never going to have any work to work from, and you will learn 10 times more by creating 50 videos in a row and getting good quality feedback and adapting and learning and adapting and learning, and make those changes. Be nimble and don't get defensive. When you get this feedback, there's no need to defend it. Sometimes you need to clarify what you're trying to do. And ask them, is that a good thing, right? If I were to go out to a random person and ask, in fact, I made a TikTok video one time, and this gal, and I was making a point, like, I think that public education is not that helpful, and I hope that their monopoly ends, right? So I was poking a little bit at teachers because this gal was complaining about her pay, and I think teachers should be paid well. But this gal came in, she's like, oh, I know why you don't have very many views, because you're ugly. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Yep, I think if I had an hourglass figure and it was super handsome, I think this would be a lot easier, right? But I have 2.5 million views on YouTube for a reason. It's because I'm trying to help people. And the reason why I'm trying to help people is because it's a calling for me, right? And so what's funny is if I ask fools that are just trying to be entertained or who like to dunk on people on the internet, is this video accomplishing what it is? They're not going to give you qualified, credible feedback. But if I approach people that understand what I'm trying to accomplish and have an appreciation, so it could be peers, it could be outsiders, you need to get a group of advisors around you where every time you make something, you send it out, you gather some feedback, and be all right sharing your 6 out of 10 video, right? See what happens. Share it. Take the risk. Just do it and create, because no matter what, as you create, you're going to get better from feedback. You're going to get better from learning what happens, right? My story on YouTube's kind of weird. I made videos and nothing happened. Then all of a sudden, a couple of them took off. And it's because I was teaching what an S Corp and an LLC was. And because I made a decent, it was working in person. That's what's funny. I was making hay off of these presentations. I put it on YouTube, did nothing for it. It sat there for a year. The tax difference between an LLC and S Corp video just sat there for a year. And all of a sudden, one person watched it, 2 people, 10 people, 100, boom, 10,000 a day. And then their business blew up from it, theirs, because they cheated me, and I left. But long story short, folks, if you want to get good at videos, again, know the types of videos that are out there for your business. Make sure that you establish your one-liner, your brand scripting, and everything like that. Make sure that you internalize that so that you could just spit and speak extemporaneously. That's going to serve you really well. Then if you make sure that you just help people go from here to there, if you're helping people, no matter what, you're going to know what to talk about to a degree. Then the next thing is to just create, just move forward, just try it. You got to, I would say, practice. Spit into the camera. Make 20 videos that you don't release. Send them out to people, get feedback. Get feedback. The other thing, get mastery. Go watch good presenters. You know what? Who is it that actually creates excellent content out there? I would say go listen to the pastors of this world. You know, there's only a couple groups of people that speak 52 times a year, and it's pastors, preachers, right? Go pay attention to preaching and training videos, because it will show you how to communicate for change. In fact, there's a book by Andy Stanley called Communicating for a Change. Communicating for a Change by Andy Stanley. You should go read it. In fact, in there is this whole idea that, you know, essentially preaching. So I'm a Jesus boy, or I'm a Jesus follower. I think Jesus is, I believe, 100% in the Bible. Like, I'm about as on that as you can possibly get. Actually, I am. And Jesus said, you're stuck in your sin, but I have new life for you. In fact, if you just believe in me and follow me, you will have eternal life. A. B. I want to give you life here now. I want to give you more love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And what Jesus did was essentially do what I'm talking about. In fact, this whole idea that he came and said, you're stuck here, I can show you a there. In fact, all it costs you is everything, but also just simple faith. Right? And so what's weird is that a preacher is usually trying to help us. Each one of us are stuck in so many different sins in different ways, and every day we get stuck in a different sin. And what they're trying to do is to show me, we, God, you, we. Me, I personally have a problem of sin. Don't we all have the same thing? Here's what God said to solve this problem. Here's the problem. We all have it. Here's a solution, and here's the result. Me, we, God, you, we. So it's me, I have the problem. We, don't we all have it? Here's what God said, here's the solution. And then imagine a result if you changed it and I changed it in our life, the result. And then imagine a world, the big picture of all of us do it, right? So that's all from Andy Stanley's Communicating for a Change. He also talks about how to prepare people to switch, and it's excellent. But I would pay attention to preachers. If you want to be a good YouTuber, you want to be a good video maker, go get some training in preaching. Whether you believe that or not, I'm telling you, these people speak 52 times a year. Who else does that? Not many people do that. And they have to do it to people and then invite them in to volunteer and give you money. That's crazy. Good luck. God bless.